Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 4 of Series of Dwarf, the new mountain home of the Towers of Age. We will today accompany our expedition leader on her adventures towards becoming the new Baroness of this place. Now, for today, I want to introduce to you the new workshop area. The only thing that pains me here is that the pillars here are a little bit misplaced in my opinion, but we will fix that. No problem. Apart from that, this new layout will work as follows. We will have room for various workshops in these little bays. We can seal them off with walls and windows and whatnot, and we're going to have storage units north and south of these. So I felt like this should be one of the more easy ways of getting ourselves a storage system together that will get us somewhere. So we need to pillar up this place a little bit, because I figured that for this fortress I really want to have a little bit more patterns, a little bit more shapes, and for the remainder of the episode today, I will go for the workshops here, as these are really, really important for us. We will today set up the woodworkers and the carpenters and the mechanism makers and all the handicrafts people, and I want to do also the security aspect of this fortress. I feel as if one smart thing would be to start working with cages and the like, and roleplay wise, this is the new order of our expedition leader for today. We want to have a couple of cage traps by the end of the day, and we also want the workshops finally up and running with a nice organization with some room for storing things, because I really want to get going here on an industrialized way. By the way, you can also use DF hack for mass blueprinting things like these, if you don't want to work as I do here. But I haven't had yet the time to get the work with DF hack into my DNA, so to say, as it is really quite a cumbersome task. To get used to new systems sometimes for me, especially when it's Dwarf Fortress, where I have learned to utilize these things the way I have learned them. And I noticed that with this game, I often have a hard time adapting to new methods because I took so much time and effort to learn it the way I did. Whatever. Enough of that. Let's work and go for some specialized workshops. So the idea is going to be as follows. We're going to have the workshops here. Just like that. I think 2 mechanics workshops are more than enough though. And we're going to set up stoneworkers here. I'm using the native rock salt here because I feel like this is a really, really nice look. And there we go. And now we can afterwards put up some walls if we'd wanted to here. Put up a door, put up windows, whatever. So we have kind of like this little workshop arrangement. Okay, and over here we do a similar thing. We work with the limestone though, because I really feel like it looks nice if we have all these things arranged together. And we're also going to set up a bowyer. Maybe 2. Why not? We have the room. And I'm also going to set up 1 crafts dwarf or 2, as it is really nice to have these guys up here as well. So I'll leave 1 bay open. Let's see. We can now deconstruct these old stoneworkers workshops, as we have now new work spots available. Yeah, there we go. So finally things are starting to come together. Wonderful. Okay, we got one storage unit over here, but I want another storage unit over here as well. So we're going to make a bit of a corridor here. So we're going to say that it'll look something like that. Oh, a new artifact is in the making. So let's check out what happens. So that means the gods smile upon us as we seem to have taken the right decisions. Right on. So, our dear esteemed Urdim Loromris, I know that name from somewhere, has taken a stoneworker's workshop. So, I bet that this guy comes from the coincidental tombs. Was that the previous one? Yeah. It never dawned on me that these guys were called the coincidental tombs. That is such a ridiculous name, considering how many dwarves have drowned there. Anyways. So we're going to make it look like that. I'll just excavate these and put up constructed walls there. You know, work style. Okay, so let's see. What do we have so far? Yeah, that's going on right nicely. Quite nicely, jeez. My English isn't Englishing too well today. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to make that hole a tad bit wider. There we go. So, you know, pillar patterns are just outright nightmares. You can't get yourself out late there so easily. Okay. So we setting up here storages for various things already. The orders of our dear esteemed expedition leader were clear, and we're going to go through this task as follows. We will store finished goods in this area and raw materials down here in this area. We will continue with a similar pacing and setup there as well. Oh, these workshops don't belong there. And we're gonna make basically the same thing there in a mirrored way. There we go. It will be, of course, a very, very nasty chore to make this whole place look exactly the same. Or I see various breaches of symmetry here already, but I'll fix them up over the course of the time. So, our dear friend has made a legendary rock salt throne. I love it. Alright, so I already know what I'll put up in the room of our expedition leader. So let's see. An image of adamantine greaves. This is actually really badass, considering that we set ourselves out to make a mountain home. It's just like as if he had made a artwork that tells of the stories to come. I love it. It's a real brilliant piece of work. And you guys, or I don't know, yeah, yeah. In the Discord, I have been pointed towards the fact that forests will provide our dwarves a plentiful amount of food to gather from, and we should use that more. It's still late winter, and we can still find plenty of fruit and things here, so that's really, really amazing. Okay, so our little city is thriving. This here is probably the worst offender right now, but we're getting structure into this chaos, believe me. Okay, next step, I want to set up the storage zones. So I want to have one huge storage zone here for furniture in general. For furniture, where are you here? There we go. So let's check. Can I do this as follows? No, it doesn't work. We can't expand it to between levels. But whatever. We're just going to have two generalized furniture stockpiles. They will be hopelessly overburdened in the shortest amount of time, but it is something that we are going to work with along the way. All right, so let's set up stone stockpiles. Here I won't do anything generalistic. We're dwarves after all. So the first thing that crosses my mind, I want rock salt. I just want a big fat stockpile of that stuff. I want wheelbarrows as well. We need to build wheelbarrows. So obviously we have a ton of limestone in here. So we're going to set up a stockpile for that as well. So there's also a ubiquitous amount of chert. So let's use these 3 stockpiles for starters. It's not ideal, but it's a good start. We need to organize ourselves somehow. All right. Now, next step, I want to order 2 things because they are of pressing urgency. I want to order mechanisms, but give me a second. We need to check out if we have a magma safe stone in our possession already. Let's check it out. How about you, Chert? Are you magma safe? Yes, you are. Brilliant. Congratulations, Chert. You will be the rock mechanism material. I love to start right from the beginning with magma safe mechanisms because it's the easiest way to make sure that wherever you work, your mechanisms won't be burned away by magma if you just make it all magma safe. That's the easiest way. Alrighty, so we're now out for mechanism making, and the other thing that I want to have are cages. We're going to use wooden cages, as these are lightweight, and we got lots of material to work with. Okay, so this stockpile here can be deleted. We don't need it anymore. And we're instead going to expand our wood stockpile tremendously. There we go. Boom. It's this one giant wood stockpile now. This will be enough wood stockpile for the entirety of the fortress. I like it that way. Alright, speaking about which, let's chop some trees, as I can use that as well. Okay, with these preparations all set down, I think we have completed the quest of our expedition leader quite profoundly. The basics are down, but we still have a lot more work ahead of us. So I have bins, I have mugs, I have beds, I have rock pots. These things are all down. We have mechanisms and we have wooden cages. What we don't have is furniture. And what we also don't have are rock blocks. It is a really important thing that we start thinking about what kind of stone do we want to use for our fortress to make it look neat and shiny. I always decide from the availability, so let's take a browse. I will expand my workshops accordingly over the course of the time. We're going to go deeper with more workshops. Oh, look at this. I messed up the columns. No. Well, it is okay. We're just going to construct over that. Alright, let's check out. We got limestone and all these stone types already designated for storage, but what's down here? What can we harvest from here? So obviously the sandstone is sadly still in the wet areas. Would have been really nice. So we have diorite, we have slate, obviously in larger amounts. Let's see. Okay, we have both on the cam. There we go. So there's phyllite, there's more slate. Doesn't seem like we have fundamentally different types of stone on the biomes here. Okay, down here comes granite, lots of granite and diorite. So there's marble. We do have a lot of shiny white stones, but the thing is, to build an entire castle, you use up a lot of stone. And then some. Well, but obviously we have granite and diorite at our disposal in larger amounts. So that means, yeah, I love the idea of diorite here. Yeah, let's do this. I want some diorite in my life. Okay, so we're going to set up another new fresh stockpile then over here. And just gonna store these things for now in a not too logistically super efficient way. Oh yeah, now I remember what I wanted to put up to task. Wheelbarrows, of course. So we're going to require a lot of wheelbarrows, but since we are living right next to the forest, we can easily carve ourselves lots of these, so that's gonna be just what we need. Okay, so diorite will be my block color for now. I love the idea of a whitish castle. I mean, we could go for brown color, which would fit to the magma theme that we're rolling with later, but, well, I personally feel that a bright stone has a very noble character. And since we're building the mountain home here, we have to follow a little bit of an esteem question. Hey, now then. So, we're going to set up another stockpile for that, and the diorite stockpile is just there. Beautiful. Okay, next step, I will set up a stockpile zone here in the center. 4 blocks. So, all the stone type blocks will be stored henceforth here. That makes a very short traveling time for our workers when they want to get something done. They don't need to go tremendously far there. At least that's the idea. Okay, so got this like that. So we can widen up this hallway. I think we got more than enough jobs for our dear friends for now, but there's one particularly important job for me. We need to dig out some of that diorite, because, you know, this area here is going to be our easiest access to these materials, even though it will be quite a lengthy way for our workers to go all the way from there to here, but, well, with wheelbarrows, it is a manageable task. Okay, I think we're on a great way. As you see here, blocks are already being deposited in there. We should see more and more work orders, and yeah, it's about time to consider how we will compose our furniture. I love that part. So I do see quite a lot of rock salt available, so we can surely work something out with that stuff. So I'd say we're going to make doors, rock salt doors. So you can close your room with it, and you can also lick it for some important mineral intake. What's not to like about these? Alrighty. So, we also should set up very soon a clothing industry, but one thing at a time. Let's see, is there already... Yes! Love it. I just catch the perfect moment for to be around here. So, I was around to catch the pigtails after they've been harvested, and they are not given free for brewing now. Usually, it is a really, really nasty task to get your kitchens to not cook away all the pigtail, but that's a different story. So here we can now process plants. I'm going to show you the thing once. So your dudes go over there and they can process these plants into fiber. Here he's processing a hemp plant. That was not my idea. Let's see. He should be processing a pigtail at some point, but whatever. Or are they using the pigtail directly? I can't remember anymore. Anyways, we need to set up a clothing industry, and I will do that between the episodes because it is just a marathon of work orders that I need to write into here. I'll show you the finished product in the next episode and talk about it for a hot minute. It's just really, really not fun to watch it. Anyways, next step, I want to store all that bituminous coal over here as well, because we got so much of it, it should be stored here, right? Alright, so let's check back with our industries. Things are coming along quite nicely, don't they? We got the cages, we got the mechanisms, so let's start setting up some safety for Series of Dwarf. I really feel a lot better with having a battery of cage traps at the entrances. We all know how the goblins are. They come after a while for sure, and we don't have any military around right now. And we have human immigrants. So let's check out Jail Glittered Skulls. I want to be open for these people, or at least open for the roleplay implications that these things bring. So a human bowman is asking for things here for staying around here. The magical nation. Seriously? That's what these guys are calling themselves. Are they all the magical nation? Yes, they are. Alright, that struck me a little bit by surprise. Nobody expects the magical nation, no? Alright, so let's see. He's a former member of several side governments. Alright. I don't know. I don't feel as if our fortress is already in a shape where we could provide the necessary lifestyle for the large ones like you. So we're going to postpone things like these. I think this city will surely one day take up people from all over the world, but not yet. Just not yet. Alright, I feel as if it is about time to consider a nice dining hall for this place. And I do envision something like that. Here we go. A nice long hall. There we go. So that means we need to mass produce tables and chairs as well. Okay, we got plenty of limestone. We are using diorite as our block material. Let's make these things a little bit more... Let's manifest these things, I'd like to say. Alright, so diorite blocks. There we go. I want to have a stockpile of at least 500 of these. And that's not even a really good number. We want tables. So we're going to set up... Oh, we can make wooden tables. No, we're going to make rock tables. Who wants to eat off of a tree? So we're going to use here... Well, I'm going to use here the chert. We're going to make chert tables and chert thrones. So... that stone type gets its use as well. I love a uniformist look when it comes down to furniture in my fortresses, therefore you always see me doing these things. Alright, so with the amount of limestone available here, I'll also be generous and make limestone rock coffers. This is actually quite a Quite a wealth decision. And let's see. I don't have any other colors open yet, so, well, yeah, we're going to make the cabinets out of limestone as well. This has a hidden advantage of having a higher value of these things. At the end of the day, limestone is a tad bit more valuable as it is a flux stone compared to a regular stone, and therefore I like to use these. It upgrades your rooms by itself, so to say. All right. What is happening here? I hope that is happening downstairs. Great. I'm relieved. For a moment, I was afraid that something might be happening out inside the fortress. That would have been really, really bad news. Okay. So there has been a starting batch of limestone doors. We're surely going to be using these for the future, but they will be not used anymore later. Okay, so for the entry level, for this level, I want to have a couple of polished rooms and a couple of bricked rooms. I don't know yet how I will do it, but I think these bedrooms here, they will all be polished, as I am really not keen on ripping out the beds and planting them back in. It's just a little bit of an effort, but I don't want to. All right, so our dining hall is in the making. Huzzah. Alrighty. Let's designate that. And after the polishing has been done, we can plot down a couple of trees and chairs and all these things. I'm really happy with the basics of my workshops now. I still have to work a little bit on the symmetry, but, well, there's always something to get started with. I do like the fact that it is a little bit of a different design compared to the ones that I did in the past. I really want to avoid that my fortresses all look the same after a while. And that's one thing I really gotta say, I gotta work on that. Otherwise, it's all going to be very quickly very samey. And personally, that bothers me. Okay, so here we have this arrangement that I really like. As you see here, they can sit back to back and have a chat. There we go. I'm going to use this area here for prepared meals. I think this is way too large. Can't have a small tray of prepared meals here. It will be otherwise just be grabbing way too much food for no good reason at all. So prepared meals, we designate that, and then we tell them to pick it up from a stockpile. If you don't do that, the stockpile will never be really filled with stuff. Been there, done that. Just doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Okay, so the safety of the fortress, well, the basics are down. With cage traps, there is a really, really high likelihood that whoever wants to invade our fortress will be just caged and processed later. I will be setting up another layer of traps there, and another layer of traps there. Sometimes these guys love to breach through several layers. And tell you what, since we got so many trees and all here, we're just going to be really sure with the third layer of cage traps. It's not as if they would be eating anything. They just require a little bit of wood, and we don't care about them. Although I should be a tad bit careful around it, as if I chop down too many trees too quickly, I will agitate the wildlife. And like I said, I don't have much military. and this could escalate quite quickly, as there are giant goats around, like I saw right there. I had no clue. Now, one last thing that I want to do before I head out for today is one stockpile for leather and cloth, as it really pains me to see that these things are lying out there, being in danger of being picked up. I don't like that. So, next episode, we will have to work on a pasture. As my animals are still grazing outside, this is no condition that we can let last like that. This fortress has a very interesting problem, as there is really a lot of stone and not too much grazable soil. Usually I have the problem the other way around. But, you know, always a new challenge with each and every fortress out there. So, my good and dear Dwarf Fortress friends, I appreciate that you've been around. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you had a good time. Leave your comments down below. A thumbs up would be appreciated, and if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. I also want to point here quickly towards the fact that I got a channel membership by now going. All the Dwarf Fortress episodes that I pre-record are available for channel subscribers. I have put the fee very, very low, as I want this to be more of a sort of supporting the channel with a nice side effect. So if you want to binge some Dwarf Fortress, this is surely one of the best ways to go for, as you will have instant access to all the stuff that I have pre-uploaded. Alright, enough of the ad stuff. I thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time. Thanks for watching even after the ad roll, and we are going to go next episode for more workshops. I want to go a little bit for the metal industry, and I want to go exploring down here and see what we got. Can't wait to get there. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for being around. See you there. Bye-bye.